everyone, today we're going to be looking at these gel pens that have taken over TikTok and colouring channels and everything like that. I've seen them everywhere. They've gone totally viral, and you never know, do you? The thing is with TikTok, because there's so much of it nowadays where people are just trying to sell something for a commission, like it's every other post, you know, you're scrolling, it's every other scroll, somebody's promoting something, selling something. And you look in the reviews oftentimes and it's not as good. You know, people have received it and they're like, I wish I'd never bought it. It's not what it was shown to be and blah, blah, blah. So I'm always a little bit skeptical when it comes to buying things from TikTok and TikTok influencing in general. Because there is an awful lot of consumerism, isn't there? Like people want to have every single pen in the planet, every single, you know, colour in the set. And I'm the same. I definitely have full set syndrome. Like if I have only a partial set of something, I feel like I need the full set. But it's a thing, isn't it? This kind of over consumerism and having to buy and buy and buy every new thing that you see. So after all that ramble, what the point of this video is I have bought the pens with my own money, and I will tell you, good or bad, what they're like, if they're worth the money, if you only really need to buy certain sets and not the rest of them. And yeah, just do an unbiased, as always, review of what I'm seeing here and what I think, pros and cons, and, you know, just to make you more informed before you go spending your money. So these are the Languo gel pens. They're a Chinese brand, and the main sets of gel pens that you see will be these 9 packs, and they all come in different colour groups. So we've got lipstick red, just go through them really quickly, reddish yellow, warm yellow, green style, sage green, dusty blue, blue style. See how it can get confusing because I don't even know if I've got all of the pens here, packaging changes, and you know, it's really difficult with the language barrier as well to figure out if you've got the same sets or not, or all of the sets rather. So we've got purple style, we have got sweet pink. Can you see this? Sorry about the glare. These are the 4 sets that all have the same name, but they do have different codes. So this is, I believe, 5551 or something, and this is 5552 and so on. But they're all called Mirandai, and you get 4 of those as far as I know. Then we have the skin tones. So we've got colour of skin. This one's called colour of skin, but it's different. And down here it says colourful skin. So when I've done my chart, which I'll show you in a bit, that's how I've differentiated them. Then we've got the Mylard, which I believe is some kind of word meaning burnt toast or something like that. I'm sure I've read that and not dreamt it. But you can see all the different brown tones kind of look like variations of burnt toast, so I'm going with it anyway. And then we've got the dark skin set, obviously some deeper brown tones there, and with the red undertones as well. Then we have the advanced grey, which is grey with different colours in the grey. You can see some green, some blue, some more red leaning. We've got colourful black, which are really, really deep dark tones, but again, they definitely have colours in there. It's just that they're really dark, which I'm, you know, excited about. I love those kind of colours. Then we've got light colour, which is completely the opposite. So these are super, super, super dark, and these are super light. So you'll see when I show you the swatch chart just how they look. Then finishing off the 9 packs, we've got the dopamine, which is your neons. The highlight, which is neons as well, but it's more pastel colours of neons. These are more vibrant, these are more pastel, but both neons. And they are all different colours. I've been through them and they're all different. So I was wondering, was there going to be any duplicates and am I wasting my money? But there isn't. So, and then we've got the highlight set, which actually only has 3 colours, but you've got 3 of each. So we've got white, silver and gold, which is handy because these colours can be used a lot. Silvers and golds, especially on metal, around Christmas time, things like that you would use. And obviously white's always handy. So that's the 9 sets that you can get. Once more, I don't know if that's all of them. Somebody's going to come on and comment and say there's actually 10 more sets. But I'm pretty sure it is, but I wouldn't put money on it. Right, then we've got the glitter pens. So these come in packs of 6. actually, just before I show you those, there is one more set of the normal pens, but it's smaller. It's a 6-pack called Sketch Colour, and it's greys and a black. So yeah, that goes with those ones. Right, gel pens. So they come in 6 packs. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I've got 12 packs of these, all different. Again, I don't know if that's all of them. I hope it is. And again, they come in sort of curated sets. So this is obviously your blues, your goldy colours. I think this might be a mermaid set. I'll show you the swatches anyway, because it's hard to tell, isn't it? But yeah, so like I say, there's 12 of these. I believe there's 24 packs that I've got of the normal, 12 of the glitter. So we've got some reds and some, again, mixed tones there. Purple and green. And another green, but more bluey green. And then this one is some darker tones. And finally, we've got this one. So some of them are a mixture of different colours. So that is the 6-pack glitter. We've then got 4 of the glitter shiny style pens. I don't know again if there is more than 4. I could only find 4. And these are special because when you shine them in the light, they will shine different colours to what they actually are. So for example, this pen would look blue, right? This would be a blue pen, but it will probably show up green or pink or something, you know, when you put it under the light. So they have that two-tone sort of chameleon effect. And that's it. So that's all the different packs of pens that I believe you can get. And yeah, so let's have a look at an actual pen so you can see. I'm just trying to figure out what I'm doing here. So I'm just going to grab this one. So this is what one of the normal sort of basic pens looks like. It's got highlight on it, the pack name, and then it's got Languo and some Chinese writing. And then on the top, you've got that little starburst lid. And on the bottom, you've got a little cap that you can actually pull out, but it's quite difficult. You might need pliers or a really strong grip, but it does come out. And I'll show you the reason, or at least what I use that feature for later in the video. So that's what the pen looks like. It's really thin, very narrow, and the actual nib itself is super, super fine. So these particular pens are 0.6 mil, the tip. So it's a very, very fine line pen. And, you know, that kind of, it's good in a way because you can do details, but it also concerns me because I think, is it going to be really scratchy and show lots of marks? There'll be lots of railroading and lines and things. So that was, you know, one of the things I also wanted to look at. So that's those. They're 0.6. Then the glitters and the shiny style are both 1.0. So these are thicker nibs. The pen looks different. It's a thicker pen. It's got colour gel pen plus Languo on it. And yeah, that's what it looks like. The lid is glittery and the nib is definitely thicker. So you're going to get a thicker line coming out of that, and that's generally what I like better, a thicker line gel pen, but there are tips and tricks to get these to be thicker, and that's what I'm going to be showing you in a bit. Right, so now that I've shown you the pens, the sets, sorry about this, by the way, I should have turned this over before I started. I've been painting garden ornaments for my grandma. Here's my latest one that I need to start painting, and I've got paint and things everywhere. So just ignore the mess. Right, let's have a look at, I'll move these out of the way. We can have a look at the swatches, because that's what, you know, you really want to see, don't you? What all of the colours look like and how different they are from one another. So I'm just going to move these. There's so many of these, they keep falling over. The amount of times in the past week that all of my little piles of pens are falling over, it's really annoying. Okay, right, here's my swatches. So I designed this very, very simple and basic chart very quickly. And there are names to the pens. So if I just show you, for example, this pack, you can see at the bottom, right across the bottom, are the names for the different colours. But translation apps, Google Translate, you know, whatever app you're using, they are not very clever. And you often get some very strange translations that you just know don't make sense. So I did go through, you know, translating every single pen name and writing them down, but some of them were just ridiculous, you know. I'm trying to think of a really funny one, like cheap tea bag or something. It was so weird. But yeah, so they do have names. Numbers, I don't think they do have individual numbers. This is all 557. Yeah. Each pack has a number, but not each pen. So all I've done is I've kept the pens in the order that they came in the box, and done that in the order from top to bottom, so that when I pick up a set, I will know, you know, whereabouts that colour is. And it, you know, it's usually quite easy to tell as well where a colour is. You know, for example, I've got the Mirandai here. Which one have I got? Mirandai 552. So this one, you know, if I'm looking for that colour, that green, that's going to be easy to see that it's this one, you know. So I don't really feel like I need all the names and stuff. The only thing is, that means I've got to keep them in their original packs, otherwise they're going to get mixed up, unless I kind of take them out, bunch each set up, put a elastic band around them and store them like that. You know, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. But anyway, I'm going to stand up now because I want to get up close to camera so that you can see all of the colours in the sets. So the top four are all of the Mirandai colours. So we've got more pastel-y ones on this side, deep dark ones here, kind of basic colours, and then sort of the in-between tones of the basic colours, if that makes sense. So there are loads and loads of different, you know, mid-tones and just very unusual colours, which you would expect there would be in a pen set that's so large. So that's all your four Mirandais. Then we've got lipstick red, reddish yellow, warm yellow, green style. So you can see all of those. If you want to, you can pause this video, you can have a better look at the colours. Sage green, dusty blue, blue style, purple style. I tried to do them in a bit of a rainbow order. We've then got sweet pink and the two colour of skins and the Maillard or Maillard. So you see, burnt toast. Then we've got dark skin, advanced grey, colourful black and sketch colour. So the advanced greys, as I was saying, they are grey but with definite coloured undertones. Here's more of a reddish one, a greenish one, bluish one. And the colourful black are the ones that I said are going to be really dark and that I was really interested in, and I love these. So they really are very, very close to black. If you take them out of the light, you might have trouble sort of distinguishing them. Might make your eyes go a bit funny, but they, you know, we've got a blue and a purple and a green and a reddish colour, and you know, down to a navy. Gorgeous, gorgeous colours. Sketch colour is all of your greys and black. Highlight colour, you've got your silver and your gold and then your white as well. I put some pen down on there first, some black pen, and went over it with the white so you could see it's a nice opaque white. Then we've got the light colour, which are those really, really pale tones, and they definitely are. The camera's actually showing them to be a little bit more brighter than they are in real life. They are super pale, and you know, you really have to sort of struggle to see them on a page, I think. Then we've got the two neon sets. We've got the more pastel set and the more bright set. And now we move on to the glitters. So the first four are Mint Smoothie, Misty Forest, Ocean Blue and Lip Gloss. So I'm just going to give them a little bit of a tilt in the light, and you'll be able to see the silvery glitter in there. The next four, Galaxy, Gilded Earth, Macaron and Mirandai. So again, I'll give that a tilt. They all have silver glitter. So it's a base colour with silver glitter, and they are really glittery. They're nice. And they don't seem to, you know, move. I mean, they move a little bit, but not, you know, majorly. Then we've got Magical Girl, Illusion Colour, Mermaid Girl and Glitter Eyeshadow. Told you, some of these names are a bit weird. So Magical Girl is, again, your rainbow from top to bottom, very basic. Illusion Colour, lots of pinks, greens, blue. Mermaid is lighter, but a bit more desaturated as well. Quite nice, unusual tones. And then Glitter Eyeshadow is a bit more of the same. So they are all base colour with silver glitter. Finally, we've got the four shiny style packs that have the two-tone glitters in them. So we'll start off with Night Magic. We've got a blue, a navy blue, a purple and like a red violet purple. So if we put those in the light, you'll see the blue turns to purple, the purple turns to blue, the, what did I say that was? The lighter purple? No, yeah, whatever. That turns to pink. Don't know if that's capturing it. And then the red violet-y colour at the bottom turns to blue as well. Now these Shiny Style Brilliant Fireworks, all I can see on these is gold. So I was expecting them to have completely different colours, but it's just a block gold glitter, so I don't know why. And then we've got the two at the end, Mermaid Dreamland. We've got two blues, hang on, no, they're all blues actually, to take them out of the light. These two are a bit more greeny, and these two are definitely a bit more blue, but they're all on the blue spectrum. And then you tilt them in the light, and they turn to purple, silver, orange, and gold. So I especially like the orange and gold. I believe this orange one is called Coral Sea, which makes so much sense because it's blue and then it's orange. But yeah, they're really nice. And finally, we've got Firefly Forest. So we have like a lime green, standard green, and a blue, turning into green, yellow or gold. That's got some light blue powder in it, light blue glitter. And this one, again, has kind of a greenish blue glitter. So they are all of the pens that I have in the collection. Again, I don't know if I've got them all or not, but we will soon find out. Somebody will tell me. Okay, so how do these pens colour? That's what's the most important thing out of everything, isn't it? Well, I coloured a page from this book. It's a colour by number, and I did that because obviously you've got the numbers on the actual illustration, and I wanted to see whether these gel pens were as opaque as everybody is purporting them to be. And yes, they are. So I decided to actually do this owl because it was one that had lots and lots of tiny little details. And with these gel pens being very fine tipped, I thought that's going to be ideal. So this is Colourmetrics Colour by Numbers book, and this is my finished owl. So at the bottom, you've obviously got your numbers. This is like your key or your legend. And I looked through my swatches and picked out which colours I thought fit best. And obviously with the amount of colours that we have in this gel pen set, I was able to find every single one. You know, there's so many nuances of colour in this set. That was great. And as you can see, I mean, I'll show you another one. Here's what the numbers look like. So you can see they're very clearly printed. And I think most other gel pens might struggle. You might have to do maybe a second layer or something. But these ones are 100% opaque. I can't see any of the numbers under any of it. Even the really light colours, there's nothing. There's no numbers, there's no detail that you can see from underneath. So they are incredibly opaque, I can confirm that. And what was great about colouring this was because obviously it had all of these little sections, I was able to get into the very fine details. You know, if there was a tiny little triangle here, I was able to do it without, you know, going over the edge or having a big nib to work with. One thing I will say though is if you are colouring a larger area, like for example this bit here, say that's a larger area, I would say go quite slow. I'll show you a little bit of it in a moment, but I'll say go quite slow and don't press the pen too much to the paper, because you know these little nibs, they've got a tiny ball in them, haven't they? And that ball kind of gets pushed up with pressure and the ink flows out around it. And that's why sometimes you get what they call railroading, which is, you know, you can see the two lines of the pen, but then there's a gap in between. That won't happen if you're quite light-handed with these pens. So don't push that ball down too much and trap the ink from coming out. I'll show you what I mean in a sec. There is, as I said earlier, another way that you can make these very fine gel pens produce a really thick, you know, gorgeous, juicy ball of ink. Okay, so we're all zoomed in now. I've got the sage green set. Let's go for this one, sort of a mid-tone from the sage green set. So first of all, I'm just going to try colouring with it without putting anything on the end. And you can see that it starts to write straight away. There is no skipping or, you know, having to shake it or anything like that. It's really, really consistent. And you can see my lines are, even though it's sort of steady, I'm keeping my strokes consistent. So I'm keeping going. I'm not sort of doing a little bit and stopping and starting and whatever, which you can do, but I'm just trying to show you how far it will go without any skipping or messing up or anything. Do you know what I mean? It's not an unreliable gel pen, and a lot of times gel pens are very unreliable. So I just want to show you that close up first of all. Obviously it's still wet, Can you see? Hang on, let me stand up. Don't know how clear that is because I'm already zoomed in like loads. Let me unzoom you and then let's see. Ah, there, that's a bit clearer. So you can see it's really, really consistent. There's no skipping of lines. There obviously is some line marks, but it's not dry yet. So once that dries, I'll show you it again close up. Hi guys, I'm just editing the video and realised I didn't actually tell you what the trick was to make the ink flow really well. And it is putting something like a kneaded eraser or blue tack or anything that's like a mouldable putty right on the end of the pen. And I'll show you it in a sec, but I realised I didn't even explain it. And it's just to make it so that it traps the air inside and it pushes the ink through more freely. But anyway, that's it with the without the rubber bung on the end. I'll now show you it with it. So here we go, just put a bit of that right on the end there. Seal it nice and tight. Let's see if we can see the little bead of ink start to push out. You can just see it. I don't know if that's, you can see it starting to bead on the end of the nib. And then I'll show you again. You just get a really, really thick swathe of the ink. So that would be, you know, fantastic for colouring those larger areas. And that's how I used it. It filled these areas in so quick for a 0.6 gel pen. It was brilliant. So let me bring that to camera. We're up, down like a yo-yo today. Let me zoom you back out. There we go. So obviously that's really, really wet. You can see the amount of ink that's come out of the pen. And the top one is now dry. So they don't take long to dry at all. It's dry and it is completely consistent. There's no lines, streaks or anything. And it's just beautiful, solid colour. Like I said, it's not something I've experienced with gel pens before. So there you go. You can tell sort of by how juicy that is and how wet it is, how much more ink came out of the pen. Let's have a look at the coverage of one of the glitter pens, because obviously they do have the bigger nib and more of an output of ink. Yeah, so this feels like that second green felt. And again, just really, really consistent. They start to mark make as soon as you put them to the paper. It's not like you have to shake them or warm them up or anything like that. Really, really nice. Let's bring you to camera. Let's get that focused. There we go. So you can see all of the gorgeous glitter. And that second one is starting to dry now. It's still a bit wet. But yeah, you can see all the beautiful glitter on this. And like I say, just the consistency is there. This is not a consistency I've ever seen with a gel pen. I mean, sometimes with your Jelly Roll Souffle, you can get that consistency, but Jelly Rolls to me, I don't know if I'm doing something wrong with them, but Jelly Rolls to me are usually very temperamental, which is annoying because they're really, really nice colours and beautiful pens. But yeah, what was I going to say? I was going to show you something else then. Yeah, so about the finish of these pens, so just focusing on this top green one that's dry, they are a kind of, they're not glossy like gel pens usually are. They're not completely matte either. Let me show you on the owl. You can see this sheen, but it's not a gloss sheen. It's more like a satin finish. So it's like, it's matte, but it's got a bit of a sheen on it as well. It's very difficult to describe because matte is obviously no sheen whatsoever. But these are not the gloss that you would find with a gel pen. It's a satin sheen and it's really, really nice. So that's the kind of finish that you get, and it's a very flat finish, but it does have that little bit of shine to it as well. So we've tested them out. let's talk about the pricing now as well, because that's a very important factor. So I was looking around for the best prices of these pens. I started off on Temu because that seemed to be the cheapest price I could get these for. I got 208 of the Languo pens for £31.64. I think there was a 5% coupon or something that was on there. So if I just click on those, take that one off, you'll see this is what I got. So I got all of these different 9 sets, and then the shiny style ones and 4 of the glitter ones. So then I found out there were more and headed over to TikTok, and I bought some more of the glitter packs, and they cost me £2.7 each for each set of 6. So there we go. That's how many did I get? I got quite a few. Yeah, and so for the lot of these, which was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, it cost me £16. So yeah, they're not incredibly expensive. And I think for all of these, which is, let's see what we got. The Mylard, Mirandai, Warm Yellow, Lipstick Red, Colourful Black, Mirandai, Sage Green, Mirandai, Highlight, Blue Style, Purple Style, Sweet Pink, Sketch Colour, Skin, Reddish Yellow, Highlight and Dopamine. And then the 4 super shiny style ones, and then 4 of the glitter ones. That's 208 in total. They're currently on there for £48. I bought them for, let's just check, what did I say? £45. So I guess it depends, you know, what deal is on at the time. But I think even £48 for 208 pens of this sort of, you know, opacity and very good performance is a good price. Do you need all 208, or can you get, you know, separate sets and just get 1 or 2 of the colours that you might most likely use? Yes, you can. So they've got different sets here. This is a 45-piece one with dark skin, sage green, light colour, advanced grey and dusty blue for just £8. There's loads. There's so many different listings with these pens. I think, what are these? So these are 15-pack. You would get the 9-pack of Lipstick Red and the 6-pack of red glitter, and that's just £3.83, and you can go for whichever colour you want. So they are really affordable and inexpensive, which is what concerned me at the start, because I thought they're too cheap to be as good as people are saying they are. And that's why I've made this video. That's why I've spent my own money buying all of them, testing them all out and seeing what they actually work like, because I hope now after 10 plus years you can put your trust in me. You know, I don't lead you wrong, and I don't say something's good when it isn't. And I'm really impressed. I'm really impressed. So everything the TikTokers were saying this time was completely true. And yeah, I don't know if there's anything else I need to tell you. We've talked about price, we've talked about performance, we've talked about, yeah, let's say, which sets would you maybe want to buy and which sets do you not need to buy? So if I bring my swatch cards back, so if you don't want to spend, you know, just shy of £50 on the whole lot, well, a bit more, isn't it, because I bought some from TikTok, then, you know, you don't need to. So let's have a look. So I think the glitters, everybody's going to want all of the glitters, aren't they, because they are all so different. I would say the 2 closest ones are probably Mermaid Girl and Glitter Eyeshadow, because these are very pale, and these are desaturated but not as pale, so you might get away with just getting one of these, and the rest of them are all pretty different. So if we're just looking at the 2 sort of main palettes, then I would say get yourself Mirandai 51 and 52. Reddish yellow, because you've got yellows, orange and red in there, so that will incorporate these 3. Then get the sage green, because it's got lots of different green tones in there. Probably would go for the blue style, because you've got the brightest down to the deepest. Definitely get the purple, because that's the only one you'll find purples in. Sweet pink, if we got the reddish yellow. You may want pinks. Again, it depends what you colour with, what kind of colours you use a lot. You may want the sweet pink. You only need one skin tone. You only need one brown. You don't really need the advanced grey. I like the colourful black, but you would argue that you don't really need colours this dark. The sketch colour I would say get. The highlight colour I would say get. Light colour, don't bother unless you really want it for that reason, and only get one of the neons. Glitters is difficult because they're just all so beautiful, aren't they? You know, you look at glittery pens and you just want every single variation in every single colour. So I'm not even going to attempt to tell you what to get with the glitters. It's totally, you know, your call. But yeah, I hope that I've, in my waffling and rambling, as I usually do on my videos, hello if you're new, this is how I am. Sorry. I hope that you've got a really good view of the pens and that you're comfortable. If you're on the fence with them, I hope this video has made you more comfortable about trusting that these are decent pens, because we just never know, do we? And I really wanted to put them to the test and make sure, you know, that you're not going to be wasting your money. But, you know, again, as I mentioned at the start of the video, there's a lot of consumerism and it's filtering its way down into Colourtok and Colourtube, where people have to have every single colour of every single set of every single product that ever comes out, you know, and it's you don't need to, but if you are, you know, looking for something, you've got a bit of disposable income, you are looking for something different, you maybe want to try something that's a hybrid of acrylic and gel, and you want something that's got the really fine nibs and you can do detail work with, but you can also use the little rubber bung trick and get, you know, really thick lines as well, then you can't really go wrong with these. The price as well are very reasonable. Like I said, you can get these packs on their own for a couple of quid. So if you only want a couple of them, go for it. And yeah, so what I'll do is I'll put links in the description. They're not affiliate links or anything. It's just so you can find them a little bit easier. But it's difficult because there's so many different variations of packs that you can buy. You can buy ones on their own. You can buy ones with maybe 6 of these in, or you can buy the whole lot of 208, and then you've got to buy the glitter separately, and there are some more there are some more different sets of 9 that you can only get on their own kind of listing. So I'll leave you a couple of links, but do kind of dig in, do your own digging when you get into the site, whether it's Temu or TikTok or AliExpress or whatever else. Do your own digging there and see what variations of listings you can find and what suits what you want better. Right, I'm going to shut up now and let you get on with your day. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I will see you soon on Colour with Claire.